Welcome to Aviation Stories Uncovered. In this episode, the Antonov An-225 Mriya, the legendary heavy-lift aircraft that redefined cargo aviation with unmatched size, extraordinary capability, and a story unlike any other. On December 21, 1988, in Soviet Ukraine, the largest aircraft ever built took to the skies for the very first time. By virtually every meaningful measurement, length, wingspan, and maximum takeoff weight, it stood in a class of its own. Its name was Mriya, the Ukrainian word for dream. Originally created for one highly specialized mission tied to the Soviet space program, the aircraft would eventually outlive that purpose and embark on an unexpected second career. For more than 3 decades, it became one of the most recognizable aircraft on Earth before its story came to a tragic end during the war in Ukraine. The An-225 was an engineering masterpiece. It featured a 290-foot wingspan, stretched 275 feet in length, and had a maximum takeoff weight of approximately 640 metric tons, figures that remain unmatched by any aircraft ever placed into service. Power came from 6 Progress D-18T turbofan engines, while its enormous fuselage was designed to carry oversized cargo that no other airplane could transport. It could haul massive loads inside its cargo hold, or, as originally intended, carry cargo externally on top of the fuselage. Supporting all that weight required an extraordinary landing gear system with 32 wheels, allowing the aircraft to operate from conventional runways without exceeding pavement limits. Only one An-225 was ever completed and flown. A second airframe remained unfinished in a Ukrainian factory for decades and has since become the foundation for discussions about rebuilding the aircraft. Its cargo hold alone was larger than many small commercial buildings, and some of its charter missions required custom-built loading ramps and cranes because standard airport equipment simply wasn't designed for cargo of that scale. The An-225 was built to transport the Soviet Union's Buran space shuttle and components of the Energy rocket between manufacturing facilities and launch sites. Its role closely mirrored NASA's shuttle carrier aircraft, modified Boeing 747s that ferried the American space shuttle. Rather than adapting an existing airframe, Soviet engineers designed an entirely new aircraft around the mission. The result reflected the ambitious engineering philosophy of the late Cold War, a period when technological achievement had become a powerful symbol of national prestige. Ironically, by the time the aircraft entered service, the Soviet Union itself was nearing collapse. After the Soviet Union dissolved and the Buran program was canceled, the An-225 spent several years in storage. It eventually returned to service with a completely new purpose, transporting oversized cargo that no other aircraft could carry. Its missions included massive power generators, mining equipment, wind turbine components, locomotives, and emergency humanitarian supplies. Every arrival became an event. Wherever the Mriya landed, thousands of aviation enthusiasts gathered along airport fences and observation areas just to watch it touch down or take off. Over time, it became more than a cargo aircraft. It became a global aviation icon. In February 2022, during the opening days of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, intense fighting erupted around Hostomel Airport near Kyiv, where the An-225 was undergoing maintenance. The aircraft was destroyed during the battle. Images of its burned-out remains quickly spread around the world, becoming one of the defining symbols of the conflict's early days. For many, its loss represented more than the destruction of a remarkable machine. It symbolized the loss of a unique piece of engineering history. Since then, Ukrainian officials have repeatedly expressed their intention to rebuild the aircraft using the unfinished second airframe, presenting the project as both a technical challenge and a symbol of national resilience. Throughout its commercial career, the An-225 repeatedly set world records for air cargo transport. Among its most remarkable achievements were carrying a single generator weighing more than 187 metric tons, transporting multiple armored vehicles in one flight, and delivering industrial equipment so large that moving it by sea would have taken weeks. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the aircraft also flew urgent humanitarian missions, transporting millions of masks and medical supplies across continents when rapid delivery was critical. Those flights became some of its final major commercial operations before the aircraft was lost just 2 years later. For more than 3 decades, the An-225 occupied a category all by itself. No manufacturer ever completed another aircraft capable of matching its size or payload capacity. Several nations explored concepts for even larger transport aircraft, but none progressed beyond the design stage. From its first flight in 1988 until its destruction in 2022, the Mriya remained the largest aircraft ever to fly, a record that has never been surpassed. The An-225 was created to solve a very specific problem: transporting the Buran orbiter and Energy rocket components across the vast territory of the Soviet Union. That original mission lasted only briefly before the Soviet space program came to an end. Yet the aircraft's immense lifting capability gave it a second life far beyond what its designers envisioned. Instead of serving a space program, it became an indispensable tool for moving cargo that no other aircraft could handle. Its career ultimately ended in war, but its legacy remains unmatched. The Mriya was more than the world's largest airplane. It became a symbol of engineering ambition, international cooperation through humanitarian missions, and the enduring fascination people have with machines that push the limits of what is possible.